Billy Branch grew up in Los Angeles, where he began playing Christmas carols and folk songs on the harmonica while still in grade school. In 1969, he came to Chicago to study political science at the University of Illinois. While he was there, he was introduced to the blues, and he's been playing blues harp in Chicago ever since.
What made you decide to stay in Chicago?
Well, the blues got me, I guess. You know, I mean, I went through college and with the intent on going to law school, and ended up in blues bands. So, first band I was in was with Jimmy Walker. That must have been around, I don't know, 73, 74. And then later on with Willie Dixon's band for about 5 years.
Do you remember the first time you sat in on stage?
You know, I really don't. I was trying to think about that recently, and I don't really remember, but I think it was probably at Teresa's, because a good friend of mine was like Junior Wells' stepson, and one of the first places I hung out at was Teresa's.
Okay, so that's how you learned to play.
Well, I learned how to play hanging out at the clubs, sitting in and listening to records, and then on campus there was a lot of the young white guys played harmonicas, and we'd play up and down the halls and in the Union.
Billy's featured on the 1990 Alligator release Harp Attack, along with 3 of Chicago's legendary harmonica players, Junior Wells, James Cotton, and Carrie Bell.
I wanted to ask you how it felt to be included on an album with 3 legends.
Well, it felt good. You know, it felt like maybe the fruits of your labors are, you know, coming to a head, so to speak. It felt kind of good, because these were the guys that I really learned from firsthand, you know, by watching them and imitating them.
Mm-hmm. One of the songs that you wrote, New Kid on the Block, it's kind of autobiographical.
Right.
There's a line in there where you say, Junior, I remember when you used to cut my head, just for the benefit of people who don't know what that means. What does that mean? Yeah,
well, cut your head is mean when you best somebody on the instrument. You know, sometimes you go and that we'd be on stage passing the same harmonica, and I'm just trying to learn, you know, and his junior season pro, and it's obvious that I had nothing on him, you know. It's like, you feel like, oh man, I need to go back home, you know.
In addition to his work on Harp Attack, Billy Branch has recorded with many other musicians. He also appeared in the movies Adventures in Babysitting and Next of Kin with Patrick Swayze, and together with his band the Sons of Blues, it backed Bo Diddley at his last 3 Chicago appearances.
Who else have you recorded with recently?
Recently, Johnny Winter, Hubert Sumlin. I used to be with Howlin' Wolf, Willie Kent, John Primer, Sapphire, recorded with them recently. John Brim. He's kind of like one of the legendary guitar players. Who else? Quite a few people. I just can't think of them all right now.
You've been working with Bo Diddley quite a bit.
Right.
Too.
The last 3 times he came in town, we played with Bo Diddley.
What's it like working with him?
Oh, it's fun. It's fun. Bo, he surprised us because he's got relatively modern ideas. You know, he doesn't really play standard blues all night. He actually plays a lot of rap and funk stuff, you know. Yeah. So it's fun working with him.
So you play rap backup rap on the harmonica?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you think you'd like to do any more acting?
Sure. Well, I had a theater background really before I got into the blues. I was through high school in Los Angeles, and then through college I was in the theater department. So I was mostly all the black theatrical productions I was involved in that circle.
Although Billy Branch and the Sons of Blues play a variety of musical styles, he believes in preserving the traditions of the blues.
I don't think you'll see like the Muddy Waters and the Howlin' Wolves to that degree. But you know, it's an art form, it's a creative process, and the blues always dealt with the signs of the times, you know. I mean, it wouldn't be authentic for me to be singing about picking cotton, because I never did it. You know, I'd be lying. But, you know, being black, you're going to have the blues. I mean, everybody gets the blues, but being black, you're going to have blues in ways that other people just ain't going to have them. I mean, you're going to go down to shop at Water Tower Place, and you're going to see 3 or people get served in front of you. This is always going to be, you know, even though you're the first one there, you're going to walk into restaurants and they're going to politely or subtly tell you that we don't want your business. We don't care if you got a mark. You know, so you're going to deal with, you're always going to have that stigma attached. But the blues is kind of changing. You're getting more younger people involved in it. The players are younger. The older guys are dying. Kansas City Red died 2 days ago. We lost, Floyd Jones. I mean, they're dying daily. You know, the authentic, the originators of the blues. And there's very few. It's funny because most of the young white musicians are keeping the tradition, as opposed to most of the young black blues musicians now are really giving it that commercial aspect, which is all right to a degree, you know, because this is you have to change with the times. And like I said, we're not living in 1950, but this is 1990. You know, it's all right to a degree, but my personal feeling was always, if you play the blues, if you call yourself a blues band, some degree you're going to have to play that blues the way it was played. I can't be up there and have all these effects pedals and wah-wah and making it sound like rock. Like when I do a song like a Sonny Boy Williamson song, the first part of that solo, I play it note for note, just like the record. You know, like Don't Start Me to Talking. And then the rest of it is kind of like my interpretation. But I think if you're going to say you play the blues, you owe a certain commitment to preserving the integrity